You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Friday, July the 17th, 2020. The Rays and Orioles played each other in a close game. 4-3 was the final, and this game took 10 innings to complete. The Rays made a comeback in the top of the 8th inning with a 3-run inning. That tied the game. The Royals scored all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The game went to the 1 extra inning where the Rays scored a run in the top of the 10th. The Orioles could not respond, and the Rays ended up winning. Oliver Drake got the win, Paul Fry got the loss, and Nick Anderson earned his 27th save of the season. The Indians and Blue Jays played each other. This game also went into an extra inning, but the final score was 7-4 with the Indians coming out on top after a 3-run top of the 10th inning. Each team got 11 hits in this game. The Indians committed 1 error while the Blue Jays committed 2. Brad Hand got the win, and Wilmer Font got the loss. The White Sox and Tigers played each other in an AL Central matchup, and the White Sox won by a 6-2 final score. This game saw some early offense from the White Sox. The Tigers scored their 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. It looked like they would potentially make a comeback, but they did not. Those were the only 2 runs they scored throughout the entire game, and they lost by 4. Lucas Giolito got the win, and Matthew Boyd got the loss. Close game between the Twins and the Rangers. And when I say close, it was a 1-0 final, and each team had the same amount of hits, which was 6. The Twins got their first and only run in the top of the 3rd inning. Meanwhile, the Rangers did not score a single run. Jake Odorizzi got the win, Corey Kluber got the loss, and Tyler Duffy earned his 14th save of the season. AL West baseball between the Astros and the Athletics saw the Athletics win by a 3-1 final. Each team scored in 1 inning in this one. The Athletics got all 3 of their runs in the bottom of the 3rd. The Astros scored their first and only run in the top of the 5th. And the Athletics came out on top by 2, despite the Astros getting 2 more hits than the A's did. Sean Manaea got the win, Justin Verlander got the loss, and Liam Hendricks now has 33 saves this season. The Red Sox beat the Royals by a hefty amount, 9-1 the final score of this game. Eduardo Rodriguez got the win, and Danny Duffy got the loss. The Mariners and Mets played each other in an interleague game, and the final score of this one was 8-2. The Mariners came out on top of the Mets. Yusei Kikuchi got the win, and Jacob deGrom got the loss. He's evened out to 7-7 now on the season. Another interleague game, the Angels and the Phillies played each other. This game was close, and it had back-and-forth offense with several home runs hit in this one. The Angels tied the game up in the top of the 9th inning with a home run, but then the Phillies in the bottom of the 9th got a walk-off homer from Neil Walker, making it 6-5 and ending this one. Each team had 10 hits in this game. Hector Neris blew the save, but ended up getting the win with the Phillies walking it off in the bottom of the 9th, and Taylor Cole got the loss. NL Central Baseball, the Reds and Cubs played each other, and the Reds came out on top by a 6-1 final score. The Reds had back-to-back 3-run innings in the 4th and the 5th. The Cubs scored their only run in the bottom of the 4th. Trevor Bauer got the win, and Yu Darvish got the loss. The Marlins and Diamondbacks played each other. Final score of this game, 3-2. The Marlins came out on top. Pablo Lopez got the win, Madison Bumgarner got the loss, and Brandon Kinsler earned his 27th save this season. Interleague play between the Yankees and the Cardinals, 8-3 was the final. The Cardinals came out on top. It was close early, 2-1 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, but then the Cardinals struck for 5 runs. They ran away with the game. The Yankees were making a comeback, and if it weren't for that 5-run bottom of the 6th, the Yankees might have had a shot at winning this game, but they fell short by 5 because of that 5-run bottom of the 6th. Jack Flaherty got the win, and Garrett Cole got the loss. The Nationals beat the Pirates by a run, 3-2 was the final score of this game. The Nationals got 9 hits as compared to the Pirates' 5. Steven Strasburg now 12-2 on the year. Chris Archer 7-6 after getting the losing decision, and Sean Doolittle earned his 28th save. The Braves and Rockies played each other, and the Braves won handily. 16-4 was the final score of this game, and it was offensive plenty in this one. The Braves got 18 hits as a team. The Rockies got 10 hits as a team, but only 4 runs to show for it. Mike Soroka got the win, and Herman Marquez got the loss. NL West baseball between the Giants and the Dodgers saw the Giants win by a 6-5 final score. Logan Webb got the win, Ross Stripling got the loss, and Tony Watson earned his 21st save this season. And the Brewers and Padres played each other, a close game. Early offense from the Padres saw them get a 1-0 lead, which they held on to for this entire game. Each team also had 4 hits in this one. Chris Paddock got the win, Brandon Woodruff got the loss, and Kirby Yates now has 32 saves this season. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees still at the top, though they lost today. They're 57-39. The Blue Jays are in second, 4 games back of the Yankees. They also lost today, so they didn't gain any games on the Yanks, and they've also lost 4 games in a row now. They're 54 and 44. The Red Sox are 48 and 49. They won today against the Royals. They're 9.5 games back of first. The Rays are 47 and 51, 11 games back. They've won 2 games in a row. And the Orioles are 40 and 58. They're 18 games back. They lost today to the Rays. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins, the first team to 70 wins this year. They're 70 and 29. They've won 4 games in a row, and they're still at the top of this division. The White Sox are 57 and 40. They're 3 wins away from 60 wins. They're 12 games back of first place, and they're also in the middle of a 3-game winning streak. The Indians are 54 and 44, 15.5 games back. They won today. The Tigers lost today. They're 40 and 58, 29.5 games back. And the Royals lost to the Red Sox today. They're 33 and 65, 36.5 games back of first place. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics reached 60 wins today. They beat the Astros. They're 60 and 38. The Astros lost to the A's today. They're now 56 and 40, and they've moved a game further back of the Athletics, now 3 games back of first. The Angels are 45 and 52. They're 14.5 games back. They've lost 2 games in a row. The Rangers 40 and 58. They're 20 games back. They've lost 3 in a row. And the Mariners are 37 and 62. They're 23.5 games back. They're still in last place, though they've won their last 2 games. Here are the wild card standings in the AL. The White Sox have the top spot. They're 57 and 40. The Astros a half game back of that first wild card spot with a 56 and 40 record. And the gap is getting bigger now for that second wild card spot. The Blue Jays and the Indians are each 54 and 44, and they're each 3 games back of that second wild card spot. Every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 8.5 games back of one of those wild card spots. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals still lead. They're 56 and 42. They've also won their last 3 games. The Marlins are 53 and 44, 2.5 games back of the Nats for first. The Braves also still close, 52 and 46. They're 4 games back. They won today. The Phillies also won today. They're 44 and 53, 11.5 games back. And the Mets, the only team in the division to lose a game today. They lost to the Mariners. They're 43 and 54, 12.5 games back, still in last place. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals still lead. They have a 57 and 41 record. The Cubs, 49 and 48. They lost today, getting closer to a 500 winning percentage, which isn't good because that means they're getting worse. They're 7.5 games back of first. The Brewers still trying to claw their way back, but they haven't gotten into a consistent winning rhythm. They're 47 and 49, 9 games back of first. The Reds are 41 and 56, 15.5 games back. And the Pirates, the only team in the division left without 40 wins. They're 36 and 61, 20.5 games back of first place. And in the National League West, the Dodgers, one of 2 teams that has played 2 games so far in the second half. They played on Thursday and today. They're 66 and 32. They lost today but won yesterday. They're still at the top of the division, though, anyhow, and by a large margin. The Diamondbacks, second place with a 51 and 46 record. They're 14.5 games back. They've lost 3 games in a row. The Padres have gotten hot recently. A couple of those wins were before the All-Star break, but they won today, so that moves their winning streak up to 3 games. 51 and 47 is their record. They're 15 games back at first. The Rockies are 41 and 56. They're 24.5 games back. They lost today. And the Giants, the other team that has played 2 games now in the second half. They played yesterday with the Dodgers, and they played today. They lost yesterday, won today, so now they're 37 and 60. They're 28.5 games back of first place, and they're still in last. And here are the wild card standings in the NL. The Marlins have the top spot with a 53 and 44 record. The Braves have slid into a wild card spot now, so it's 2 NL East teams that have a wild card spot. The Diamondbacks have fallen to a half game back with a 51 and 46 record. The Padres still close, staying in contention. 51 and 47 is their record. They're a game back. The Cubs are 49 and 48, 2.5 games back. The Brewers, though they have a winning percentage under 500, they're still close, 4 games out of a wild card spot. Every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 7.5 games back of a wild card spot. And let's take a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera still has the highest at a 351. Miguel Andujar the next best with a 334, and Chris Davis third best with a 328. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt still has the lead. He's at a 353. Jonathan Villar close to him at a 348. And Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a 344. Hits leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the most with 133. Miguel Andujar second most with 131. And DJ LeMahieu, Andujar's Yankee teammate, third best with 127. In the National League, Jonathan Villar is the most with 142, Paul Goldschmidt the next best with 124, and Marcus Semien third best, now in the National League after getting traded from the Athletics to the Phillies. He is the third most with 123. At bat leaders in the American League, Jose Abreu has the most at 396. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has the most with 408. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon at 36, Jose Abreu second best at 34, and Whit Merrifield third best at 30. In the National League, Jonathan Villar at 42, Christian Yelich second best at 33, and Trey Turner third best at 29. Triples leaders in the American League, Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 7, Jose Altuve second best with 6, Whit Merrifield, Stephen Piscotty, Adam Eaton, and Byron Buxton all third best. They all have 5. In the National League, Jonathan Villar has the most with 12, Hunter Pence and Victor Robles second best with 7. Home run leaders in the American League, Justin Upton has the most with 33, and there's a 3-way tie for second best. Gleyber Torres, Chris Davis, and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. all have 28. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the most with 35, Paul Goldschmidt one behind him with 34, and Pete Alonso rounds out the top 3 with 29. RBI leaders in the American League, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is at 86, Chris Davis second best, 2 behind Gurriel Jr. with 84, and Nelson Cruz third best with 77. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt has the most with 94, Ronald Acuna Jr. the next best with 76, and Freddie Freeman third best with 74. Runs scored leaders in the American League, J.D. Martinez has the most with 73. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the most with 81. Stolen base leaders in the American League, Malik Smith and Adalberto Mondesi tied for the top spot. They each have 22 stolen bases, and D. Gordon is third best with 20. In the National League, Trey Turner and Starling Marte tied for the top spot with 32. Jonathan Villar is third best with 26. Walks leaders in the American League, Rhys Hoskins has the most with 64. He was involved in that Phillies Athletics trade. He got traded from the Phillies to the Athletics with Didi Gregorius, so now he qualifies for the top spot in the AL in this category. In the National League, Mookie Betts at 69. He has the most among NL players. On-base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a 420, Alex Bregman 5 points behind him with a 415, and Josh Donaldson third best with a 414. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt has the highest at a 454, Christian Yelich second best with a 446, and Ronald Acuna Jr. rounds out the top 3 at a 420. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Josh Donaldson has the highest at a 635, Max Kepler 10 points behind him at a 625, and Chris Davis third best with a 613. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the highest at a 730, Paul Goldschmidt second best with a 721, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a 672. OPS leaders in the American League, Josh Donaldson 1.048, Chris Davis 1.024, and Max Kepler 1.002. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with a 1.174, Ronald Acuna Jr. 1.150, and Christian Yelich 1.118. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League, there are 4 players tied for the top spot, each with 11 wins. Hyunjin Ryu, Lucas Giolito, Jake Odorizzi, and Kenta Maeda. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the most wins with 13, Steven Strasburg behind him by 1 with 12, Madison Bumgarner, Jack Flaherty, and David Price all tied for third best with 10. Losses leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda and Chris Bassett have the least amount of losses. They have yet to lose a game this season on the mound. And in the National League, the least amount of losses goes to Steven Strasburg and Walker Buehler. They each have 2 losses this year. And saves leaders in the American League, Brad Hand and Liam Hendricks tied for the top spot with 33. Roberto Ozuna rounds out the top 3 with 30. In the National League, Craig Kimbrell and Giovanni Gallegos still at the top. They each have 33 saves. Kirby Yates and Kenley Jansen tied for the third best spot with 32. ERA leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has the lowest at a 2.31. Jake Odorizzi, his Twins teammate, and the next lowest ERA on this list, 2.32. Aaron Savali, third best with a 2.63. In the National League, Walker Buehler has the lowest ERA at a 2.10. Marcus Stroman, the second lowest with a 2.31, and Steven Strasburg, the third lowest with a 2.50. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Gio Gonzalez and Kenta Maeda tied with the least amount allowed, 9. And in the National League, Marcus Stroman has allowed the least amount with 7. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 4 complete game shutouts this year. His Yankee teammate Garrett Cole has thrown 3 complete game shutouts, and Jake Odorizzi, third best on the list with 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has 5 complete game shutouts, leading Major League Baseball. Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, Merrill Kelly, and Walker Buehler each tied for second best. They've all shut out 2 games this year. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole still at the top with 166, Lucas Giolito second best with 153, and Jake Odorizzi third best with 148. In the National League, Steven Strasburg at the top with 166. Clayton Kershaw second best with 151, and Aaron Nola rounds out the top three with 148. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers. Masahiro Tanaka has thrown 4. Garrett Cole has thrown 3. Aaron Savali and Jake Odorizzi tied for third best with 2. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has thrown 5. Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler have each thrown 3 complete games this year. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has the most at 142. In the National League, Aaron Nola has the most with 141. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, Carlos Carrasco has 22, Masahiro Tanaka is at 23, and Jose Urquidy at 25. In the National League, Brett Anderson's allowed the least amount of walks with 24, Marcus Stroman the second lowest with 28, Pablo Lopez and Rick Porcello tied for the third lowest with 29. Whip leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the lowest at a 1.04, Hyunjin Ryu the next lowest at a 109, and Masahiro Tanaka third lowest at a 110. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has the lowest with a 104, Steven Strasburg's at a 106, the second lowest, and Clayton Kershaw the third lowest at a 108. Pitching war leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi is at a 3.7, the highest among AL pitchers. Masahiro Tanaka, the next highest at a 3. Shane Bieber, third best with a 2.8. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has a 3.8 pitching war. Aaron Nola, the second highest at a 3.5, and Steven Strasburg, third highest at a 3.3. Batting war leaders in the American League, DJ LeMahieu has the highest at a 5.6, Yohan Moncada the next best at a 5.3, and Francisco Lindor third best with a 5.2. And in the National League, Christian Yelich has a 6.8. He's close to 7. Jonathan Villar second best with a 6.3. And Paul Goldschmidt rounds off the top 3 with a 6.2. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Friday, July the 17th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.